I am so tired of you acting like you speak for the people of the state of Indiana or the city of Indianapolis. You do not speak for me or anyone I know. Now listen, you two jerks. Jerks on the right.
Good morning, shiny, happy people. How is everybody this morning? This fine
hungover
Monday morning. Yeah, that's true. Some people probably are hungover, and I'm probably talking way too loud.
Keep doing it.
My apologies to everybody who is hungover. Coming up on the show today, Super Bowl Hullabaloo. Of course, we're going to be talking Super Bowl stuff, of course, because it's the American way. Also, various Democrats humiliated themselves over the past few days. We'll be catching you up on that. Trump hosts the Japanese prime minister. And Trump's choice for his new faith office is hella psycho. Hella psycho. Hella psycho.
It's not good.
All that and so much more coming up on the show today. You guys, check us out on all of our places. All the places. chicksontheright.com/links is where you can find us. Yes.
Do it.
Do that. Also,
we are going to get, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say subscribe. I have a cough drop in today. It's stuck on my tooth. Sorry. I'm just letting you guys know that's what I'm sucking on today. I'm trying not to cough in your face. Okay. Because there's a little bit of lingering flu. It's still there. It's going away, but it's like there's a little bit. I'm just trying not to cough because last week I know I was annoying AF.
I didn't even notice it, honestly.
So bad.
Like, you were really good at like covering it or hiding it or doing whatever.
No, just awful coughing. So anyhow, I'm sorry, Mock. Continue.
No, I jumped ahead. And my deepest apologies. You guys, I'm sure you know this, but the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. I know there's going to be people that are disappointed. And speaking of eagles, this is the coolest thing. You guys know I had a pond out back of my house. There's a pond back there. Yeah. And I saw a bald eagle sitting on the peninsula the other day. I think it was Friday afternoon. It was so freaking cool and majestic. And then I watched it, but before I like yelled at my husband, I was like, there's a bald eagle on the thing. But he didn't hear me. And I was just staring at it. And before I could even think to get a picture or a video, it took off. And it was just like so awesome. You know,
oh my gosh.
So amazing.
They are amazing. They are America, you know?
Yeah, they really, really are.
They're so glorious. Neat. They really are cool.
Point of personal privilege, if I may.
Yes.
I think you have a Roomba. Do you not? Okay. So this is the first house we've ever had one in. And so yesterday we spent much of the day watching it map the house, which was super exciting.
Yes.
It's just like so funny. And of course, I immediately onomatopoeia'd it. That's the right word, right? Where you like attach. Is that the right word? When you like attach personality to an inanimate object?
Yeah, like a name and a personality to it.
Yeah. Is that right? Is that the right word?
I don't know if you say onomatopoeia'd. I forget
if that's what I feel like that's the word.
Yeah, I think you're.
But I totally was
making
doing
it a verb. You're making it a verb where I don't know if it should be a verb, but you're mocking it, and that's fine.
So I anthropomorphized it. Yes, that's what I did.
Anthropomorphized. Okay, thank you.
Okay, then what's onomatopoeia? Why am I thinking that that's the thing? I don't know what that is, but like I just remember that word. It's not onomatopoeia. Okay.
Yeah, we're getting in trouble for onomatopoeia.
Okay.
I was an English major. Can you tell? Right.
So I kept calling, like I wanted to name it. And so my question for you and the audience is, did you name your Roomba?
No, I didn't name my Roomba. I didn't.
But
should I? Should I? You name your car though. Like you name everything. Like I remember when I first met you, you had a little car and her name was Suke.
I haven't named cars in a while though. It's been a while since I've named a car.
This is just your personality. It's what you do. So this doesn't shock me.
Well, I couldn't. I mean, because we were watching him go around the house,
and like, him.
Well, of course, it's a him.
Really? Because I mean, I would have usually because I would have made it a her. Because let's get real, women are usually the ones that clean the house. I'm just gonna put that out there. You know.
Yeah, but he was so detail oriented about it, like going in every single somebody's got a Max. Yeah, see, they've got some people
Charlie.
out here have
Brian
names.
has Charlie.
Okay, then I don't feel bad.
Rosie. Okay, wow. Everybody's named their Roombas and like their trucks and stuff.
Okay, then I do not feel weird at all.
No, you're not weird. I mean, a lot of people make a weird one because I haven't named all my stuff. I probably should do that.
Well, now I'm calling it Ricky, and
Ricky.
Absolutely opposed to this because I cannot stop thinking of the song from Steely Dan. So I keep singing, Ricky is our new Roomba. You want to call him anything else? I can't stop singing it.
So, oh my God, it's a Steely Dan song.
That is not his name. We are not calling it Ricky, and it's too late.
I'm calling him Ricky. When I come to visit in May, I'm gonna be like, where's Ricky? How's Ricky doing? What's Ricky doing?
You guys, they're the coolest thing. I'm like so late to the Roomba train.
You really are.
I'm just so like,
we've had like 3. We've actually had like 3 Roombas at this point because the first 2 broke and it's just been a nightmare. But yeah.
Anyway, sorry for that moment of personal privilege, but I just
long moment of personal
other
privilege.
People out there were also naming their Roombas, and they are. And so I am not the weird one.
You're not weird. There's nothing weird about you. CJB has the name Cinderella. Rella.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And I also love my dog. And if you don't love your dog, I know you love your dog, but if you're not giving your dog Ruff Greens, then maybe you're not doing totally right by your dog because naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black created this perfect premium supplement for dogs. It's a green powder. You just sprinkle it right on their dead, dry kibble, and it brings it to life. And right now, he wants you to try it and do the 90-day challenge with it. Because here's what you're going to notice. 30 days in to using Ruff Greens, you're going to notice shinier coats. You're going to notice increased energy. By month 2, you're going to see a stronger immune system. You're going to see less shedding, improved joint function. And then after 90 days, your dog's going to have better digestion. They're not going to have as much inflammation. Their heart health is going to be improved. And you might even be lowering their cancer risk. So these are all the benefits that you can get from Ruff Greens. And they love it. They love the taste. So it's like a no-brainer. Why would you not want to give them something that they love and that's good for them? So transform your dog's health the natural way with Ruff Greens. It's the 90-day challenge. Get your free Jumpstart trial bag. All you have to do is cover shipping. It is ruffchicks.com. They're back to using our favorite website name, ruffchicks.com. And of course, the code is and don't forget, they've got meow greens too for kitty cats.
For the kids.
All right. We are going to get into the Super Bowl later in the show. We're kind of saving the best for last, if you will, because we've got other news to get to. Lots of it, as a matter of fact. It could be a longish show today, maybe. Do we want to talk about, before we do that, do we want to talk about meet and greet?
You should probably mention meet and greet real quick. Yeah. It's Monday. We should probably get that out of the way.
I don't think we're going to be able to keep the September date.
It's Mock's knee is not going to be able to keep the September date. So
I would love to, but my knee will not allow me to commit.
Her knee is a bitch.
It really is.
She is an antisocial bitch is what she is. And so we're probably going to have to push it out a little bit, you guys, because I think Mock's going to need a complete knee replacement. And if that's the case, and listen, I play a doctor on TV. And if that's the case, then it's just not going to happen. She'll be in recovery. And the worst thing we could do is sell tickets. And then what a nightmare that would be if we had to cancel it. So we're just not going to do the meet and greet in September. We're going to push it out probably for like 3 or 4 months after that. Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking like March, April of next year.
Okay. So like a little bit longer. And then we'll just see what happens. Yeah.
And we'll let you know, like, well, obviously we have to pick a new date and all that stuff. And hopefully we can keep the venue and do all the things. But like, I can't commit, you guys. Because I just don't. If I feel like this still, I can't. There's no way. There's no way.
Mock likes to name things. I think like Buddha Cha says, we should name your knee Hillary. So we should name your knee.
That's fine. Because it is a bitch. It is a total biatch right now. And I hate it.
It is happening today. We're naming it Hillary. or name your
Kim's asking, it's Valentine's week and I'm not, where's all the shirts? I know I haven't started yet. I know I don't feel very Valentine's because it's not cold here. And so it's weird. I have to get used to the whole new Valentine's vibe. So yes, I'll start Valentine's colors tomorrow when it'll be Valentine's Eve.
So sorry about the meet and greet, you guys. We'll make it up to you. We will do a total blowout next spring. It will happen.
Yes,
it will happen.
And you'll be the first to know as soon as we have a date and all the details. Okay, let's get into some things and some stuff. So Donald Trump has made an announcement. He is signing an paper straws back to plastic. Everybody, back to plastic straws.
I love this so much. I think this is fantastic.
Right?
I love it.
I love it too. I mean, what is not to love?
Right. Screw you and your melting straws.
That come in plastic wrap, by the way. The wooden straws, they always come in the little plastic wrap, and then you're like, what are we even doing?
Really? Can you just stop? Stop with the charade. Yeah.
Also, you guys remember us talking about that New Yorker magazine cover, the New York magazine cover where they tried to say there was this like huge Trump party of Trump influencers and like, just look how white it is. There were like no black people,
right?
Not doing their due diligence at all, cutting out, in fact, cropping out many of the black attendees, but then also leaving out entirely the fact that it was actually hosted by CJ Pearson, a black man who has now decided to sue them.
I love this so much. Remember when we talked to CJ when he was like 12 years old?
He literally was 12.
We
talked to him when he was 12.
I know. When he was on TV this weekend, I looked at my daughter and I go, I interviewed him. We did like on the radio when he was like 12 or 13. And she was like, seriously? I go, yeah, he's like a man now. It's just so crazy.
It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know how he managed to age and yet we have not. That's so weird.
I know. I know. It just defies logic. Crazy.
It is very, 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 very strange. Okay. Also, we need to talk about the fact that President Trump has stripped security clearances from Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, and Antony Blinken. No security clearances for them anymore. Bye. You guys are jerks and you no longer get them. And that has happened. I know this tweet says he is set to, but it actually, he went ahead and did it. So that has happened. And then everybody, there's lots and lots of liberals who are out there crying about all the big changes that Trump has made and how quickly everything is happening and how everything is moving forward in ways that they obviously don't like. But polls, if you are to believe anything about them, show incredible numbers of approval for President Trump, the best of his entire career, as a matter of fact. And Margaret Brennan had to report on it, which was freaking glorious.
Our CBS poll finds that a majority of Americans, 53%, approve of the job he's doing. That's a better approval number than he ever reached during his first term in the White House.
Well, keep it simple, Margaret. He's doing, in the eyes of the public, what he said he would do in the campaign. There's political value in that. In fact, 70% of people say he's doing what he promised. That's whether they approve of him or not. Now, there's another part of this that continues over from the campaign. There were words that he was described as being tough, being energetic, and he still is today in big majority numbers.
So that's perception. What about the actual policies?
Well, let's start with the ones that are popular. And again, these echo a lot of what we saw in the campaign. The idea of deporting those in the country illegally continues to be popular. We saw that in the campaign.
Wow.
Sending troops to the U.S.-Mexico border. Again, majority in favor. We'd seen that in the campaign. For his supporters in particular, the focus on ending DEI is popular. We had seen in the campaign, a lot of them thought those processes had gone too far.
Yeah.
We did think that everything went too far. And now the pendulum swinging back. Take that, Margaret.
Poor Margaret.
I know. Bless her heart. They're there. There, Margaret.
So great. I just love everything about that. There is a crazy, like wayward rogue judge out there who apparently barred Elon Musk and Doge from treasury systems, and even Scott Bessent. He barred the Secretary of the Treasury from the Treasury systems. And this is absolutely crazy. There's a lot of people freaking out about this, saying that the Supreme Court needs to like immediately take this up. This is absolutely insane. But for now, some Democrats are eating it up and they are gloating about it like crazy. One of those being Dan Goldman, who said he noted that because the judge ordered Elon and the Doge team to delete any data that they had taken, which they didn't take any. And so Daniel Goldman said it wasn't just a freeze on Elon Musk and Doge accessing Americans' personal data. He was ordered to destroy any data they already took. Elon must confirm he has followed that court order. And Elon replied, "We don't have any personal data of Americans, you corrupt moron."
It's so, I cannot believe these people. And I cannot believe all the people that see this and they don't go, okay, what are they trying to hide?
Right.
Like what?
Right.
When they protest this much, what are they hiding? Good Lord.
And how are they themselves benefiting? Because clearly that's what's going on here.
They are protesting an audit this much. Okay.
Yep.
Why? Why? It's a freaking audit.
Don't you want to know? Because it's your money too.
What are you hiding, Dan?
Well, one thing that we did find out that he is hiding is the fact that he has an offshore bank account of over $30 million, apparently. Oh, yeah, that's off somewhere in the Caymans. That's not sketch at all. Not at all.
Yeah, because how much does he make every single year? And he's got an offshore account with 30 mil in it. Okay.
That seems normal.
Yeah, totally really normal. Somebody should somebody audit that.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, what a piece of crap this guy is.
This is the same guy who probably was delighted to sick 89,000 IRS agents on you and me. And then he's like, oh, no, nothing to see here. I still got 30 million in an offshore account in Cayman Islands. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh my God.
I know. I can't wait to see how this plays out because this obviously isn't normal. And I hope that it's super investigated. I'm sure it will be. Yep. And we'll be continuing to bring you updates about that. And then just as a reminder, of course, we talked all last week about how corrupt it appears that USAID has been and the level of fraud, corruption, waste, abuse, all of it is out of control. But we're also continuing to find out more. Like this Catherine Herridge report, she said it looks like a USAID supported college tuition for Anwar al-Awlaki, who later became an al-Qaeda terrorist. He claimed to have been born in Yemen to get the financial help from the State Department, but he was actually a U.S. citizen born in New Mexico. And then he developed all kinds of ties with the 9/11 hijackers and then became the godfather of the digital jihad. I mean, this is crazy. How do you mess this up?
And why did he get college tuition? Why did he get money from us? Like in the first, like seriously, I want to know that.
Because we were engaging in our soft power through USAID. That was soft power.
That is such bullshit. Why are we paying for anybody's college when we're broke? I mean, is anybody going to help me with my third kid's college? Because nobody's helped me with the first two. Seriously, I'd like help with that. That would be great. When do I get help? This guy's a freaking terrorist. Like, I don't want to pay for I don't want to pay for terrorist college.
Well, I mean, he is dead now, but still, the point remains. This is crazy.
We did that. The point is that we did that. And like, nobody came to me and said, hey, Daisy, how do you feel about paying for this guy's college? Nobody ever, this is the thing. It's like, no one ever asks us how we feel about paying for this kind of stuff. They just do it. They just steal our money and then they give money to crap like this. Enough is enough, you know?
I know. And it continues. I mean, there's even more that they uncovered 5 o'clock this morning. Elon was tweeting about this. The Doge team just discovered that FEMA sent $59 million last week to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegals. God. He said sending this money violated the law and it's in gross insubordination to the president's executive order. That money is meant for disaster relief and instead is being spent on high-end hotels for illegals. A clawback demand will be made today to recoup those funds. Just incredible. Absolutely incredible what they're uncovering.
It is incredible. And if they're in luxury hotels in New York City, can't we just go in there and just, Tom Homan can just go in there and be like, okay, Hi, I'm Tom Homan.
Perhaps you've seen me on TV.
Exactly. Time for you to go. It's time for you to exit the country. I'm going to go ahead and help you do that. Mm-hmm.
This is just incredible. And then you had sent me this yesterday, this flashback clip from Elizabeth Warren, who's really, her tune has changed a lot from 15 years ago. Here's what she said about how money was wasted, taxpayer money was wasted 15 years ago. Compare it to today, and it's a pretty stark difference.
You know, when that much money disappears, it's usually because somebody broke some laws somewhere. But if we don't look, if we don't ask, if we don't uncover it and make it all public, we'll never find out.
We are here to fight back.
Right? I love how Lies is playing in the background.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect.
That was like, what, 3 years before she got into office? Like a couple years before she got into office. Yeah.
Interesting.
With the bowl cut. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she, and now it's interesting now that she's got all these, people who give her money, and she's got all the, the hands in the pockets and whatnot. It's interesting how her tune has changed. She's gotten in the swamp. She's in that hot tub.
Oh, she's soaking in it. She's pruned, man. Right. She's been in there so long. Right. Her fingers are pruned.
Totally.
Yeah. And then Representative Timothy Burchett was talking about how difficult it is to audit the Pentagon, for example. It's going to happen. But here is what he made an interesting quip about it. And we'll tell you how Elon reposted this and what he said as soon as you hear this.
Pentagon has billions of dollars that they hide. We don't ask for any accounting of. They never pass an audit in the history of audits. I've often said the only way we're really going to get to the bottom of this is somebody's going to walk out of one of these labs with this information and puts it out on the internet before they commit suicide by shooting themselves in the back of the head 5 times.
This is our government, though. I mean, is it like the fact that that guy said that out loud and he's talking about that and he's just like so honest about it,
right?
So out there just saying, yeah, I mean, if you say what these people are spending money on and if you put it out there, somebody's going to get suicided. The fact that this is being said out loud just shows you how corrupt our government is. You guys, we are in such a terrible place with this government. Thank God that Trump is there. Thank God that Elon is there. Thank God they're trying to root out all this evil, man. It's like, I can't believe we've gotten to the place where we are in this country.
I know. And Elon retweeted that video saying, I guess I need to beef up my security.
Yeah, he should.
I mean,
he absolutely should.
For real. I hope he's got like the absolute best security team around because damn.
Yeah, because they're going to
mad at him.
Yeah, because they want to do like the Department of Ed next. And then can you imagine the military? How much waste is in the military? Good Lord. Yeah.
And the good news is that Pete Hegseth he's going to be on top of that as well. He's obviously going to be wanting an audit, wanting that to happen, which is great. And Jennifer Griffin of Fox News, really, she's a great like wartime reporter. She's always been really thorough at reporting, like, from on location and in war zones. But she's also clearly not a fan of this presidency, this whole administration, and it's showing more and more. And finally, this weekend, it got to the point where Pete Hegseth called her out. And it's because she ran with a story that is absolutely ridiculous. There was a letter from the House Appropriations Committee, Democrats in the House Appropriations Committee, asking why Pete Hegseth needs $137,000 worth of home repairs and paint for his government residence in light of DOJ's efforts to save taxpayer money. So they write this big letter to Pete Hegseth, and she reports on it without even bothering to actually get the facts, which, as Pete pointed out, and he said, fake news of the day, not surprising from Democrats and Jen Griffin, same thing. Any and all house repairs were going to happen no matter who was moving in, and they were all initiated by the Department of Defense. But Dems and Jen don't care about facts. They're just Trump haters. I mean, this is insane.
It is insane too, because they work together at the same place. Like, that is it shows.
So he knows.
Yeah. And you can tell that they probably had a tumultuous relationship. You know what I mean? Like she probably didn't like him and he didn't like her. And so she's like, I don't like this guy, especially now that he's in this position. I'm going to go after him. That's shitty.
I know. But the good news is that he can go after her too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
He is.
And that's very disappointing because I've always looked at her and I've always thought, okay, she's probably one of the last journalists around.
Right.
And now
she's
a disappointment. It is very disappointing. Yeah. I mean, this is like, what are you doing? There's a gajillion other things you could be talking about besides this. But
yeah, this was just shitty because she could have literally just called him. She probably has his phone number. Exactly. She could have texted him and been like, what's the deal with these house repairs and painting?
Exactly.
But no, she wanted to run with the story and that's what she did. And I'm glad he called her out. That's
too.
Ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, corrupt people, Fani Willis, she has posted her invitation to her like inauguration, her sworn in for a second term celebration. And who is the featured speaker but Jasmine Crockett?
That's an
totally tracks.
That invitation is so ugly. I'm just putting it out
there. Right?
Yeah, it's just awful. Too busy. It's awful. Yeah.
So unbelievably, Fulton County hired her again. They elected her again. They get what they get, I guess.
Yep.
So good job, Georgia. The picture I'm about to show you is old. I don't know how old. It's probably a few years old, but I just saw it for the first time with the close-up that you'll see in just a moment. And I needed for other people to see this with me because this is horrifying. The picture you're about to see is Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters. This is at the 26-minute mark of our show. So tune in if you're listening and not watching. It looks like a normal picture on its face, like just two old ladies hanging out, right? Two miserable Democrat hags hanging out.
Right.
But somebody zoomed in on Maxine's feet.
Yeah, I immediately just looked at her feet. Yeah, that's all I could see.
What is that?
That's all I can see. When you showed the far away one, that's all I zoned in on was her feet.
What is happening? How is she standing?
Because she's wearing shoes that don't fit.
Oh my God.
She needs a pair of shoes that actually fit her. She can afford them. So why doesn't she buy shoes that fit? Good Lord.
And then, of course, because of who I am as a person right now, the first thing I think of immediately is like, look at her just standing like a normal person with normal knees. And I can't do that.
And you'd be wearing shoes that actually fit you.
Right. I would be wearing sensible shoes.
Yeah. Those are, oh God, that just looks so uncomfortable.
But don't worry, I have eye bleach for you.
Carrie just said, I can smell that picture. So bad.
I have eye bleach for you, and it comes in the form of Scott Jennings and his dog.
I can also smell this picture, you guys. I can smell it. God.
It said Elvis J. Bulldoggington sleeps where he wants, apparently. And yes, he is snoring.
Oh my God. You should have a bulldog. I'm so mad that you don't.
I don't like them.
I know. And it makes me sad that you don't. Being a Georgia Bulldogs fan. Like,
I know.
Why don't you guys have a bulldog?
I'm very anti-smash face dog. I'm just anti them because I don't think they should be bred. It makes me angry when people keep breeding them.
I know.
They're not meant to exist. And they're so overbred and they're so unhealthy because people have overbred and they just make me sad. It makes me sad to look at them. So that's why I don't like them.
Guys, I freaking love them. They're so cute. She's so anti-smash facist is what she is.
I am. I am a smash facist.
She is that indeed. Man, they are cute. And that picture was adorable.
I mean, it really was, but not because of the dog.
So cute.
All right, I promise you guys we're going to get to the Super Bowl. I promise.
We're going to get there.
And you'll definitely want to stay tuned for our discussion about that. But we have so much other stuff to get to first, not the least of which is to remind you about your personal data. I know everybody's like, oh my God, Elon has access to my data. What?
He doesn't.
Stop. He doesn't. He doesn't give a shit what you have in your checking account. Okay,
but other people do. Other people
do. And those people are lurking on the dark web. Which I don't know what that is, but I know it's bad. Yeah. And you don't want your stuff out there. I can assure you of that. And that is why we trust our sponsor and friends at Aura, aura.com/chicks. If you go to that website, aura.com/chicks, you can immediately find out with a 14-day free trial just how much of your own personal information has been compromised, which is out there on the dark web. But you can also get access to a bunch of their other features, which includes financial fraud protection. They've got password managers, data security and privacy. They have 24/7 US-based support. You're not going to talk to someone from India like our correspondent Spencer. You're not going to talk to him. You're going to talk to somebody that you can understand. It's just a fantastic service. And so we encourage you to check them out and try the 14-day free trial. You can do that by just going to aura.com/chicks, aura.com/chicks. Let's talk about Democrats being ridiculous, shall we?
Do it. Mm-hmm.
Man, were there ever a bunch of examples over this weekend. The first of which is Amy Klobuchar. And the reason that this was just so jarring to me, this video that she made encouraging people to come to Minnesota. It was no offense to anybody. Right. I mean, no offense to anybody in Minnesota. No the way that she's trying to draw people there. Keep in mind, I watched this as I was laying out. Okay. I laid out this weekend on February Super Bowl weekend. I was laying out. And then this came across my feed and I was like, this looks miserable.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, it is the most beautiful morning in Minnesota.
No, it's not.
Enjoy the snow, go for a walk, take an hour off. I know I need 1 hour off. And it's a lot of fun out here. Have a good day.
She's like, it's a lot of fun out here. It's a lot of fun. You know, there was a staffer that was forced to go out there with her and record that. And then she ran right back into her warm house. And then she berated that staffer and made him eat a salad with a fork. Not a fork, but a comb. You remember the comb situation? Remember?
Yes. Yes.
Like, you guys ever hear the story of her like on the plane with the comb because there was no fork for the salad, and then she berated the staffer and she was all pissed off, and then she used that staffer's comb to eat her salad, which is so weird. She's so and then you can read stories about her and how mean she is to her staff.
She's just awful. She's an absolutely awful person. And she looked miserable as she's sitting there going, this is like the best day ever out here in the Minnesota snow.
Just an hour. Just spend an hour out here. No.
Oh my gosh.
No, I will. I'd never want to go back to that ever again. Ever.
No.
It hurts my bones. Yeah.
Also back to Maxine, and she's the reason for my name today. So she and a bunch of other Democrat losers decided to try to bust into the Department of Education to see what Doge was getting up to in there, and they were not allowed in. And there was some absolute badass hero standing outside the Department of Ed who was just not having any of their "don't you know who I am" bullshit. He was so great. And so here is Maxine absolutely berating this total hero.
Look him in the eye. Come on, hold your face up. Look at him. Let him see you. This is him. Look at it. What's your name? Tell us your name. Give me that ID again.
Showed you the ID. I showed it to you.
So what?
I showed you the ID.
You do what?
I showed you the ID.
Could you let me see the ID again? Huh? No? Will someone else ask him for the ID? Will you ask him for it? He won't let me see it again. You didn't see it. You didn't see it. They didn't see it.
His face is all of us. His face is all of us. I love him. He is a hero.
I know. Yeah, absolute hero.
Seriously, he should be given some sort of medal. Like Trump should give him something, some sort of presidential medal of freedom or honor or something. He needs to get something.
That was amazing.
That guy, I love him.
Yeah, he was great. He was absolutely great. And no, they did not get in. And also, because this is our segment on Democrats acting crazy, so we have another one, Jamie Raskin. He was on one of the Sunday talk shows talking about how in order to fight Elon and Doge, maybe what we need is a class action lawsuit that represents all Americans. This is so absurd. Listen.
About and talking to my friends at Democracy Defenders and other lawyers about is, could there be a nationwide class action lawsuit to follow up on last week's victories against Musk, against the Trump administration for this breach in computer security and the data of all American taxpayers. It could be a class action suit on behalf of all Americans if the
I can't.
Okay, so let's get this straight. So I'm going to hire a lawyer to sue myself to try to save money on my own budget. Like that's essentially what he's saying. What
you got to pay your own money to try to get back your own money.
These people, and the thing is that people on the left would be like, "Yeah, let's sue ourselves."
We should do that
because we're trying to save money for ourselves. What?
Let's use our money to get our money, even though we don't know where our money is going. And that's exactly what Elon is trying to figure out.
You are an idiot.
Yeah.
I can't, you can't make this crap. Oh my God. I can't.
And then you remember how, I mean, so much crazy stuff was uncovered in the initial USAID audit. The things that we were spending money on were crazy. For example, like a Sesame Street program for, where was it? Like Iraq? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the guy with the big bulgy eyes, that newscaster whose name I never remember, but the guy with the big bulgy eyes had Senator Coons on.
Yes.
And he was asking him, like, how do you justify something like the Sesame Street? And you guys, Senator Coons justified it. Here's what he said.
Sesame Street, a judicious use of soft power.
Oh my God.
Well, Michael, the way you put it is the way I hope folks considering your poll today will think about it. This isn't just funding a kid show for children, millions of children in countries like Iraq. It's a show that helps teach values, helps teach public health, helps prevent kids from dying from dysentery and disease, and helps push values like collaboration, peacefulness, cooperation in a society where the alternative is ISIS, extremism, and terrorism. And to your point, it's pennies on the dollar. The U.S. Department of Defense has an annual budget of about $850 billion. USAID was spending about $30 billion. It is a small proportion of our total federal spending. And as Joe and I would often say, it's not just soft power, it's smart power.
What's the percentage? What's the percentage there? Because I don't do math, but if we figure out the percentage of what that is of the entire budget, we should make him pay that percentage of his paycheck to Iraq.
Well, I mean, he says it's 1% of the total budget. So that's why, and he's saying that to minimize the fact that, well, it means $30 billion. Who cares about $30 billion?
I guarantee you that guy wouldn't give up 1% of his paycheck to pay for Sesame Street in Iraq. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't give up his own personal money to do that. So why should I? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, but we all are. That's the problem, is that we all are. It's so stupid.
Because it's not his money. That's the thing. He doesn't care. He's like, it's just 30 billion. Oh my God, screw you. It's 30 billion. That's $30 billion. And then you add up 30 billion here, 30 billion there, 30 billion over there, 100 billion over here. It adds up to a lot of billions. And these people, like, they just have no clue. Plus, by the way, there are people in this country who are hurting and they're still homeless and they're living in tents and they're still victims of disaster that we haven't taken care of yet. So maybe focus on them first. And then maybe we can think about kids who need Sesame Street in Iraq.
Yeah, but Iraqi kids are dying from dysentery unless they watch Sesame Street.
Oh my God.
Don't you see?
I don't see.
I mean, these Democrats, oh my God. And the examples just keep on coming. Jasmine Crockett, I wish I would have had this clip last Friday when we had like a whole segment about racism, because this would have fit right in. She is insane.
I do believe that fear is truly warranted in the sense that people of color are just going to be rounded up. I mean, this is this. I mean, we've lived it, especially as Black folk in this country, right? Like, it's the racial profiling. And so whether you're a U.S. citizen, whether you are here as a DACA recipient, whether you are undocumented, whether you are naturalized, whatever your situation is, I think that if you can be mistaken for being a brown person, that you should be concerned because there is nothing that is tatted on anybody's head that says I'm undocumented or I'm a citizen, right?
Don't you see?
No, I don't see. I wonder if she could go one day without race baiting. That is, can she go an hour without doing that? Let's see if she can do that. I double dog dare you. Jasmine
Absolutely
Crockett.
no way.
Can you do that? Can you stand on anything besides race baiting and then actually do your job? I'm curious because like seriously, she can't.
It's sad. She can't. And did you notice that she could not even make eye contact with the white woman? Like she couldn't even look at her because what she was saying was so absolutely crazy, you know? And the white woman should have said something. I don't know who that was, but she was a weak ass loser for not being like, are you crazy? Why are you saying such crazy shit? Because that's all crazy.
That's all she's got. That's all she has is just race and the race card and race baiting. And it's sad. I'm exhausted by it. I know I'm not the only one. God, it's such a grift. Stupid. It is such a complete grift.
Unfortunately, I bring you parody from JB Pritzker, who I guess is trying to be a comedian now. So he's
a good billionaire, right?
Yes, he's a good billionaire. He's one of the good ones. He's eaten well. I can tell you that much. Faux show. But he's trying to like make a funny off of the whole changing of the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. So he made this video, like he used presumably taxpayer dollars to make this video trying to be ironic or funny or parody or whatever. And it's not good, you guys. Here it is.
I'm here today to make an important announcement. The world's finest geographers, experts who study the Earth's natural environment, have concluded a decades-long council and determined that a Great Lake deserves to be named after a great state. So today, I'm issuing a proclamation declaring that hereinafter, Lake Michigan shall be known as Lake Illinois. The proclamation has been forwarded to Google to ensure the world's maps reflect this momentous change. In addition, the recent announcement that to protect the homeland, the United States will be purchasing Greenland, Illinois will now be annexing Green Bay to protect itself against enemies, foreign and domestic. I've also instructed my team to work diligently to prepare for an important announcement next week regarding the Mississippi River. God bless America, and bear down.
Why?
Why? And he was probably like, that was hysterical. Was
oh my God, I'm so funny.
Yeah, and he has nothing better to do. He has nothing better to do at this time than create that. And you know, it probably took like 16 takes to get that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the people that are like, why are you gay?
Or you know what he should do with his money is buy a neck. Because he's got lots of money.
Oh my gosh. Also, there is a Washington state majority leader who said all the things out loud with no shame when it comes to parental rights and what you as a parent are allowed to know about your own child who may be gender confused. The fact that he says this out loud is incredible, but he does. Here it is.
Kids over 13 have the complete right to make their own decisions about their mental health care. Parents don't have a right to have notice. They don't have a right to have consent about that.
I'm sorry. What? They're 13 and they can just decide for themselves? No.
Yeah, no. These people are absolute morons. And they have no business being around kids. Oh my God, is right.
Yeah, I mean, he just says it. It's incredible to me that there are still people saying that kind of crazy without shame or without hesitation. It's wow.
I know.
Also, remember how there was the lady that we had last Friday, I think, who was like, from now on, any decision I make, I'm going to ask myself, what would Black women do? And then there was the clip that we played about the Brandon Strzok was interviewing people that were holding "Trust Black Women" signs.
Right.
And he was like, what about the Black women that voted for Trump? And they were like,
shouldn't trust
brains
them.
breaking.
Yeah.
So here are more women that, again, these are white women that want you to trust Black women. And so they have created a song.
Trust Black women, they lead the way. Trust Black women, they lead the way.
Oh my God.
White women, stop abandoning your sisters.
Oh my
Trust Black
gosh.
women, they lead the way.
That is a thing that happened. You're welcome.
They set that to when the Saints go marching in. But why?
I know.
There was nobody in that circle of weirdos that said, hey, this may be a bad idea. We looked like freaking morons. Nobody thought to say that to the one head Subaru driver. Nobody.
I just wish Black women would go, what are you doing? Losers, we don't want you singing for us.
Black women are like, like they're probably enjoying it.
Oh my God. All right, let's do the reverse of that and have a segment of good, because there were also really, really awesome people like Shermichael Singleton, who talked about Democrats, and this was fantastic. He was even in a panel, I believe, with Scott Jennings.
And as it pertains to Democrats, Democrats have had every opportunity to come to the table to offer a solution to cutting government spending. Once upon a time, they actually believed in that. Instead, all I have heard is whining, complaining about what Trump is doing, what Elon Musk is doing. The American people every single month, Dana, has to balance their budgets. They have to see how much money they can afford to pay for certain things and how much they have to cut back. Why shouldn't the federal government do the same? You would think that my Democratic friends would agree with that. Yeah. And I have seen the exact opposite.
Why is that? I would have loved to have known the answer. What did those hags say? They were like, thumb up butt. Thumb up butt. We just want to do the opposite of bad orange man.
Right.
That's exactly what they're doing. And
that's all they've got.
And Jamie Raskin is going to get a class action lawsuit? What? These people have lost their damn minds.
Yeah, they have. Also, it's nice to see somebody with competence on the ground in LA County, where they, of course, suffered through these terrible wildfires. And there's been all of this hullabaloo. People want to get back to their homes to rebuild, but then you have to have all of these licenses and checks and balances before you can remove debris. They've been absolutely bound up in red tape and bureaucracy. So Rick Grinnell was on the ground asking, what the hell is taking so long? These people just want to get in their homes. Mayor Bass is there, and he is somebody that is just like, okay, enough is enough. We're doing this. We're making this happen. Let's go. And it's just nice to see someone actually doing something.
What are we waiting on to start removing this where we are right now? In this neighborhood, what is the answer to why is this not being removed?
For me, it's right of entry. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So
and
for EPA, there's no.
To who did you submit them to?
Together to submit
and who did you submit them to?
To the county of LA. So it's LA County. We are waiting. So they've had them for over a week.
County to tell you it's okay.
So from an EPA standpoint, they could go remove the hazardous materials right now. They have teams doing that. They don't need a right of entry. To remove the debris, we need the right of entry, and the county's processing those right now. We've gotten almost 7,000 in. The county needs to verify who the owner is, and so they're going through that process and verifying. They will send them over to us. Once we get them, we will start issuing crews to come here. And
I should know this. Is this Lindsay's district, or is this who's
Lindsay?
Okay. So if you give me your group name, I'll call Lindsay today and say this needs to be approved tomorrow.
Thank you.
And we need to get moving.
That is a perfect example of government bureaucracy gone wild. That's
right.
I mean, you just saw it right there. It's ridiculous. All they're trying to do is clean. That's all they're trying to do.
That's
and they
it.
can't. That's all they're doing. It's like, seriously, it's like being in your house and you're like, I can't clean up my kitchen because I got to ask 14 people whether or not I can use the sponge. What the hell are we doing? That is government.
I mean, yeah, it really is. And the fact that he was just like, what, we're doing this tomorrow. We're getting this taken care of tomorrow. This is outrageous. This is so stupid.
Yeah. Rick Grinnell would be an amazing governor, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be something.
He would be amazing. It's outrageous.
It It does look like Trump found himself a good pick for HUD Secretary, Scott Turner. He finally got confirmed, and he had an announcement to make almost right out of the gate.
I am directing the HUD staff to halt any pending or future enforcement actions related to HUD's 2016 Equal Access Rule, which in essence tied housing programs, shelters, and other facilities funded by HUD to, quote, gender identity. And I want to be clear here at this agency, we are carrying out the mission laid out by President Trump on January 20th when he signed an executive order to restore biological truth to the federal government. This means recognizing there are only two sexes, male and female. It's time to get rid of all the far left gender ideology and get government out of the way of what the Lord established from the beginning when he created man in his own image, male and female. Moreover, this is just the first of many examples of how starting today, day one, we're going to back to work for the American people.
I can't believe we have to do this.
That is, even, yeah, that it requires saying out loud and like doing things.
Yeah, that we have to say, hey, there's just male and female, and we're going to keep all this other garbage out of government. You know, like we have to say it. There's just been so much crazy over the past, really the past 15 to 20 years.
Yeah,
that it's just
getting undone though, slowly but surely.
Thank you, Jesus. Yeah.
And then I don't know who this woman is. She's a super fast talker. But this is just a TikToker in her car, right? Talking about the choices that we had in this election. And I just loved her message.
And that means that you voted for people to be deported and you voted for children to be taken away from their families and you're racist and you're a monster and you have no empathy and yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. The alternative was voting for a woman who was in charge of the border for the last 4 years, and over 300,000 children have gone missing under her watch, many of whom have now been sex trafficked or labor trafficked or are still missing. Tell me again how I didn't vote for the best interests of children? The alternative was voting for an administration who for the last 4 years let millions of illegal unvetted people to come into the country where my children live and play Russian roulette with American safety. The alternative was voting for a woman who could not do one interview and give a clear and direct explanation of what she had planned for the border. What you're seeing is that she failed at her job for the last 4 years of keeping that border secure. And before you're like, oh, well, it's not everybody. There are people that come to have a better life and there are good people. Nobody's saying that there's not. And nobody's saying that they can't be here. Do it the right way. There's 100 people that come. One is bad. The rest are good. Guess what? I don't want that risk. My kids live here. There is a reason that these laws are in place. It's to protect American citizens. I don't know why you guys cannot see that. I don't know what's not clicking. What's not clicking. And then you hear, well, Americans commit more crimes in America than other people. And what does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
Right.
I don't want a criminal in office. I would never vote for a criminal. So the alternative was letting in millions of criminals. That's the better alternative.
Right.
You guys are like, sometimes I wonder, like, I wonder.
Yeah, I got words. We just, we have words. Yeah.
I love her.
I love her too. Yeah, she does talk fast, but she's right.
God.
All the things she said, spot on.
Yep. All right, we're getting closer to our Super Bowl coverage, but we also have to backtrack a little bit to catch you up on what went on during the weekend. And one of the things that went on was that the Japanese prime minister visited the White House this past Friday. And then Trump also did a couple of interviews from Air Force One, I believe. And so there was a couple of instances where he was asked about specific media outlets that he ended up ripping apart in the most hilarious way. And the first one, he's asked about Time magazine's recent cover that shows Elon Musk behind the desk in the Oval Office, like suggesting that Elon is really running the show here. And they wanted to get Trump's opinion about that. A reporter asked him about it, and here is what Trump said.
Is Time magazine still in business? I didn't even know that. Elon is doing a great job. He's finding tremendous fraud and corruption and waste. You see it with the USAID, but you're going to see it even more so with other agencies and other parts of government. He's got a staff that's fantastic.
They're trying to get him because they know that his Achilles heel is his ego, or at least it was. And I don't know if they're going to get him that way anymore, because he's been through so much crap that I don't necessarily think it's going to work this time because
it really didn't in that example.
No, he's been shot in the head. Right. Okay. So I don't think that your little like, let me see if I can go for his ego or try to, it's just not going to work this time. I don't think it is. He's a lot stronger than he was 4 years ago. So keep trying, libs, but ain't going to work. He's just going to keep working.
The next reporter to ask him a question, it's hard to understand, but it sounds like, well, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what the question is. They're trying to suggest that JD made some sort of comment and they want to know if Trump agrees with it. Trump has no idea what they're talking about and says as much. And then he finds out who's asking the question.
Suggested that if the Supreme Court rules in a way that you don't like, they can just enforce it by themselves. Do you agree with that?
I don't know even what you're talking about. Neither do you. Who are you with?
HuffPost, sir.
Who?
HuffPost.
Oh, no wonder. I thought they died. Are they still around? I haven't read them in years. I thought they died. All right, go ahead. Who else?
Who was he with? Who did he say he was with? HuffPo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I didn't know that they were a thing either.
I didn't either. I didn't know they were a thing at all. Wow.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I thought they died.
I thought they died. You don't know what you're talking about either. Next.
This is the thing. I mean, he's different than he was years ago. And who wouldn't be?
Right.
After all the crap. He had been through every test, every trial, and it's like, and you guys did this. Liberals did it. You made this bed, man. He is not he's not the same guy that he was the last administration. So congratulations.
All right. So back to, or now to a couple of moments that happened during the press conference that he had with the Japanese prime minister. There was a question asked of the Japanese prime minister, would there be retaliatory tariffs if Trump puts tariffs on Japan? And here is how that got answered.
This is tariffs on Japanese imports. Would Japan retaliate?
I am unable to respond to a theoretical question. That's the official answer that we have.
That's a very good answer. Very good answer. Wow.
What were
I love it.
That was perfect. And then speaking of ego, I think Trump got his stroked just a little bit when the Japanese prime minister was asked about meeting Trump for the first time, because this was his first introduction to President Trump. And here's what he said.
The communication discussion did you have with President Trump for the $1 trillion of investment from Japan to investment? What was his reaction? What about your communication on tariff front? This is the first time that I met with President Trump in person. So this was the first time meeting face to face. But for many, many years, I have watched him on television. So it was quite exciting. I was so excited to see such a celebrity on television, to see in person. On television, he is frightening, and he has the very strong personality. But when I met with him, actually, he was very sincere and very powerful and with strong will for the United States as for the whole world.
I love that. That's really cool.
Right?
And
Trump was smiling.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, that's right. I got a strong will. That's right, buddy. He gave him a gold helmet. Did you guys hear that? He gave him like this really neat gold helmet. And if he doesn't wear that freaking helmet to the State of the Union, I don't even know him anymore. Like, he needs to show up. He's got to be like, it's made of gold, show up for the State of the Union wearing the Japanese gold helmet, and like Chuck Schumer and Pocahontas, they all will lose their crap.
Oh my God.
Wouldn't that be so on brand if he did that? If he just wore it, just walked in.
I mean, he loves gold.
He loves gold. And he just walked in and starts shaking people's hands with this giant gold helmet on, like Gladiator. That would be awesome.
It would be awesome. There were a couple questions from Doocy too, one of which was asking Trump whether he agreed with JD Vance that big balls should come back to Doge. And so here is how that went.
About the cutting effort. One of the Doge engineers was fired
for some inappropriate posts. The vice president says, bring him back. What do you say?
Well, I don't know about the particular thing, but if the vice president said that, did you say that? I'm with the vice president. Thank you, Peter.
I love it. I think that's fantastic. JD's like, yeah, you have big balls.
And then this last one is hard to hear, but the question that Peter Doocy is asking, he's quoting a tweet from Elon Musk, who said, and I'm paraphrasing, but this is pretty close. He said, I love Trump as much as a straight man can love another man. So he's like absolutely in love with Trump, and he tweeted about it. And Peter Doocy wanted to ask Trump how Melania would feel about that.
I have two on Joe. Elon Musk said today, I love Donald Trump as much as a straight man can love another man. What does the first lady think about that?
Oh, I think she'll be okay with it somehow.
I freaking love that. I think that's awesome.
I thought that was super cute.
It is cute.
All right, on to the Super Bowl. We're going to lead you right into it by starting out with the Fox interview, Brett Baier's interview with President Trump. We have just a couple of clips from that. And at first, he was talking about Elon and Doge and the fact that they are uncovering waste, fraud, and abuse. And also made a good point in that Elon he's gaining nothing from this. Everybody's like, oh my God, Elon is this evil, sinister overlord who wants to steal all of our data and like make $1 zillion.
Or using it as his personal bank account.
Right.
He's the richest man in the world.
Right. Like he's good. Okay.
Yeah.
He's fine on the money front.
Oh my God.
And so I like that he made sure to point that out in this first clip.
If it's kickbacks or what's going on, but the people, look, I ran on this. And the people want me to find it. And I've had a great help with Elon Musk, who's been terrific.
Bottom line, you say you trust him.
Trust Elon? Oh, he's not gaining anything. In fact, I wonder how he can devote the time to it. He's so into it. But I told him do that. Then I'm going to tell him very soon, like maybe in 24 hours, to go check the Department of Education. He's going to find the same thing. Then I'm going to go to the military. Let's check the military. We're going to find billions, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud and abuse. And, you know, the people elected me on that.
Yes, we did. We absolutely did. You know, it was a mandate, and he's fulfilling that. And the people who are against it are in our way. And
I don't know anybody that the liberals keep saying, oh, you guys are so regretting it now. See what you get. I don't know a single person who is sorry that they voted for Trump. No. Find me that person.
Yeah, we're not. None of us are sorry. None of us.
None of us are sorry.
They're making that up. They're like the people who are saying that are like, you guys you regret your vote. I know people, you don't know anybody who regretted their vote. We're all delighted by this because it's
right.
Listen, I saw a thing the other day and I absolutely agreed with it. They're all, saying stuff like, I can't believe he's not brought the cost of eggs down. Bitch, I would pay $12 an egg if that means that we can bring this whole system down. Seriously. Yes. I would be happy to do that. If they got rid of all the corruption, you sign me up for like $10 to $12 eggs. I'm good with it because that will mean that my kids will have a better America and my grandkids will have a better America. Sign me up for expensive eggs. Seriously.
And anybody that's saying that is admitting that Biden is the reason for the cost of eggs being so high. So welcome to that party.
And you know what? And I know eventually the cost of eggs is going to come down, but we have got to dismantle this corruption. The fact that we played that clip of that guy talking about people suiciding themselves for trying to even crack at, just chip away at some of this corruption shows you that we have got to literally tear this whole thing down. And so I'm good with the expensive eggs until they can do it. I'm good with
that. Right.
I don't know about y'all.
Exactly right. Brett Baier also asked him what's different about this presidency, the 47th presidency, compared to the 45th. And here is what he said.
List of things you've already got done in 3 weeks. Big border policy changes, ICE crackdowns on criminals, taking biological men out of women and girls sports, big energy policy changes. So what's different with you and your administration? The difference between the 45th president and the 47th president?
Well, with the 45th, I had tremendous opposition. But I didn't know people, and I didn't have the kind of support that I needed. I put people in office, some really great ones, but I had some that I wouldn't have put. I would have, known better if it were a couple of years later, or if I had a little more experience in D.C. I was a New York person, not a D.C. person.
Which makes sense. However, he has put someone in charge of the new White House Faith Office, who is a woman named Paula White. I don't know anything about her, but she seems very much like
she's a televangelist.
Yes, like she's the Joel Osteen-esque kind of people.
A prophet pastor is what she is, which I don't like prophet pastors.
She sounds absolutely psychotic. So this is the clip that I saw. I was like, I don't know anything about this Paula White. What's she all about? And this is the clip that I found of her.
Strike and 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 strike until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against you, let there be that we would strike the ground, for you will give us victory, God. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of shouting and singing. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of an abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of an abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. For I hear victory, 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 victory in the corridors of heaven. In the corridors of heaven, victory, 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 victory. Pika hata anda ata ora bata rata ande eke manda rasata. For I hear the sound of victory. I hear the sound of
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That there's got to be somebody more normal.
Yeah.
That can be in the White House Faith Office.
Pastor Shelley. It should be Pastor Shelley.
Shelley. Yes.
What
yes.
He should have asked her. Completely normal. If she would have been great. You should have asked us, Trump. I don't know why you don't watch the show. If you wouldn't watch the show, you would have known our community. You just would have said, you know what? Pastor Shelley is obviously the person for this job. Yeah, everybody would love her. I just don't like prophet pastors. I don't like them.
They're
so
off-putting.
They are very off-putting. And what was she doing? She was literally doing like a pastor rap. What was that? What was that? She was like
yeah, I mean, that was crazy.
She was channeling the Sugar Hill Gang. What was that? I don't like
Only
that.
It wasn't even enjoyable and you couldn't dance to it.
It wasn't. Nobody could dance to that.
Nobody can dance to that.
No.
She was. Or doing whatever. That was awful. And so Trump is greater at people selections now, certainly than he was before, but he's still making some mistakes.
And a lot of people are like, what is this faith office? Like, I think that's dumb. Like, you shouldn't have a faith office. I actually think it's fine. I just think that he picked the wrong person for the faith office. I think there could have been, you literally could have chosen a gajillion other people for this position. That would have been awesome, because I think there is a resurgence of people that are finding Jesus and that are like finding their faith. I think there is totally a resurgence of that in this country. I think it's kind of cool, but this selection was probably not a good selection.
Not okay. I mean, that was not okay.
She's giving that the Gwen with the hair. You know what I mean? Remember her? The one that died in the plane crash. Remember that chick? You guys know who I'm talking about? That one that was like, you can pray your fat away. Remember that chick that was in the, remember her?
Oh, that's right. The one with the big, yes. The one from Tennessee.
She's giving her,
Yes, she is giving her.
A little bit of that kind of a pastor. I just am not into that. You guys know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And if you haven't seen the documentary about that woman, that's an interesting one for sure. Yeah. All right. One more question. Yeah. Yes. That's right. One more question that Brett had. He had lots of questions, but this is just the last one that I pulled for this particular segment. And that was about the Canada being a 51st state thing. And like, is that for real? Or are you just like saying it? Here's what he said.
And he was a private meeting. He said that your wish for Canada to be the 51st state is a, quote, real thing. Is it a real thing?
Yeah, it is. I think Canada would be much better off being a 51st state, because we lose $200 billion a year with Canada, and I'm not going to let that happen. It's too much. Why are we paying $200 billion a year, essentially in subsidy to Canada? Now, if they're a 51st state, I don't mind doing it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He means it, you guys.
He does.
There's going to be some negotiating happening all up in here.
And I love it.
Yeah. It's great.
I think it's great.
It's absolutely great. Marco Rubio, also the head of the State Department, decided to release a pre-Super Bowl message to everybody, and here it is.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio, I want to thank you all for joining us for this Super Bowl Sunday. You know, it's kind of like an unofficial national holiday in the United States. It's a time when people all over the country gather, whether they're football fans or not, to see the commercials, best commercials of the year. And obviously what we hope to see is an exciting game. It's a rematch of the Super Bowl just 2 years ago with some major superstars. And you know, it's a real slice of Americana. It gives you insight into our country. The halftime show production is one of the most highly anticipated productions of the year. It's a real sort of iconic moment that everyone stops every year. In fact, it's such a big part of our lives that there are some people that think the Monday after the Super Bowl should be a national holiday and no one should have to work that day because they're up late watching the game the night before. But I hope you enjoy the game. We expect it to be a great one, and we want to thank you for joining us to watch it and to share it in something that's so important to our culture and to our country.
That was nice.
It was very nice.
Right?
Yeah.
That was super nice.
It was.
Also, Trump went. And so that was kind of exciting. So Trump went to the Super Bowl. He brought his daughter, Ivanka, his son, Eric. Mike Johnson was there. Who else was in there?
Don Jr. was there.
Don Jr.
His
was
kids.
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Megan Kelly.
Did he bring Tim. Well, he didn't bring her.
I know.
But Tim Scott was in his box. Also,
Right.
Tim Scott was there. I think that was about it.
Yeah.
And when there's a lot of debate about the John Batiste national anthem. So he's from New Orleans. He played like this jazzed up version of the national anthem.
I liked it.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was
liked it.
fine, and I thought it was like representative of the place,
I
right?
think
like
so
it was.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it was
really-
very
I
New
liked it.
Orleans-y. I didn't mind it, but a lot of people are like, just sing it right. And they're like mad about it. But about midway through it was when they showed Trump on the big screens and everybody lost their minds. Here's that moment. It's a little jazzy.
I liked it. I thought it was great. I mean, his voice was phenomenal.
And he was so happy.
He was. Yeah. I thought it was great. It wasn't like like a lot of people will sing the national anthem and they just go over the top to be over the top. He actually has a style, and I thought it was fine. Like you said, it was indicative of where he lives. And so I thought it was great.
Am I frozen or are you frozen? Who's
No,
frozen?
I'm not frozen. I'm not frozen. I'm not
There you are.
frozen. I wasn't
It was
frozen.
probably me. It might have
I
been
was gonna
me.
say, I don't think I was frozen. So anyway, I thought it was fine. The piano was
they're-
cool.
There's just they have they have thoughts about that national anthem. And listen, no one's ever going to compare to some of the greats, Chris Stapleton, Whitney Houston. Like there were some amazing anthems that you just cannot outdo ever. And so the best you can hope for is to put your own spin on it. And he put a New Orleans spin on it. That's what
I
he
agree.
did.
Totally agree.
So that's what happened there. Then Taylor Swift was shown, not a whole bunch of times, but like the first time they showed her, the audience booed her. And honestly, I felt bad for her because
I didn't.
What has she done to deserve that except be one of the players' girlfriends?
Well, I mean,
why did she deserve that? Why did you think that was okay?
I don't know. People booed her. I mean, I don't know. She's part of the woke culture. I think people are just
okay. I mean, if that's why, but just to be there and get
I think
booed?
I mean, I think, there was a contrast because you have Trump shown and then you have her shown. And it's like, he got all the yays and she got the boos. And I was okay with it. I was fine with it. I was like, you know what?
I thought, she's so used to just like being a girlfriend and like a superstar. And
she's used to booed. No, she's used to getting applause. And I think that was weird for her. And I think it just shows a shift in culture. I don't necessarily feel sorry for her. I just don't. I think it shows a shift.
I like to think that people were booing the NFL for just constantly shoving her down our throats.
Yeah, that's part of woke culture. Yeah.
But that's the NFL. And so to boo her as a person, you could tell that she was like, oh my God, like what is even happening? Which is in fact what she mouthed or what she said out loud. You just couldn't hear her when she got booed. Here's the moment. What's going on? She didn't know why that was happening. And I felt bad for her because like, that sucks. All she did was just be there.
Well, she also put herself out there like politically too. So
yeah.
I mean,
That's
it's
true.
you put yourself out there and you say the things and people are going to have opinions about you and people have opinions about you.
Trump
and
was one of those people, and he tweeted the only one that had a tougher night than the Kansas City Chiefs was Taylor Swift. She got booed out of the stadium. MAGA is very unforgiving.
Yeah. I mean, I have a teenage daughter, she's pretty, she's not as impressionable as other girls, but there's a lot of girls that look up to Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift she says the things and she's like, you should do this and you should do that. And a lot of these girls look at her as a role model. I don't like that. Like, if you're going to say, vote for Kamala, do this, be woke, do that. I don't like her, Mock. I don't like her. And so,
well, I mean, that's fine. I think I don't agree with politics, but by all accounts, she's a very nice and generous person.
Like, she is,
you know what I mean? So like, I just felt bad that she was getting,
I'm sure she is a lovely, lovely lady when she's not spouting her mouth off about things that she probably shouldn't spout her mouth off about. Because she is a gajillionaire. And then she talks about policies that she has no stake in. So she probably needs to keep her mouth shut about that kind of stuff, especially when she's talking to girls that aren't gajillionaires, So this is why a lot of people don't like her. And so she probably had no problem when like Trump got booed a couple years ago, or he had the disdain of so many people and he was on trial and he was getting hate and like the left was, calling him a felon and like they were awful to him and he was getting shot at, I'm sure she had, did she say anything about that? And this is the thing. So the one time last night that she got booed, it's just, to me, she was a representation of all the years that, woke culture won. And then last night, woke culture was booed. And I'm okay with that. She happened to be the representation of it. It sucks for her, but it is what it is.
I don't actually even know if that's the reason for the booing. Again, it could have just been because people were pissed off at the NFL for spending so much time on her when they don't care. You know what I mean? They're just like, she's just like any other girlfriend or wife. Like, why do we have to constantly see her? You know what I mean?
I just think there's a little bit of a culture shift happening in this country.
Oh, there's definitely. I think people are much more free to be vocal about their support of Trump and his policies, and it's amazing.
And just to be conservative. And they're sick and tired of celebrities telling us what they think. We don't care, because you don't live in the real world. And I think that's a lot of it. It's not all of it, but it's some of it. And it's like, I don't care. We don't care what you think. We don't care what you say. You're not that important. You know what I mean? So quit thinking that you are. You don't set the rules. So bye.
Before we get to some of the ads, because we do have a lot of the ads to share in case you missed them, the halftime show. I was shaking so many rakes because first of all, I didn't know a single song, if that's what they were. I didn't understand a single word. And it wasn't until this morning that I realized on Twitter, all these fans of Kendrick Lamar were like, oh my God, that was like such a sick burn on Trump. And like, I can't believe he said that in front of Trump. I have no idea what he said. I couldn't understand any of it.
Yeah.
So anybody that supported Trump and didn't know Kendrick Lamar is utterly clueless that he insulted him in any way.
Yeah, I didn't see any insults. I actually looked at my daughter because she likes that, I guess, sort of likes Kendrick Lamar because like just by osmosis, because she's 15 and that in high school you like that music. And so she was watching with her friends on FaceTime. And one of the things I looked at her and I go, I like all the red, white, and blue. As a mom, I'm looking at that. I'm like, oh, look at all the red, white, and blue. She goes, yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool. But
I guess that was fine.
I didn't like it either because there's nothing I could sing along with. She liked, she's not so much of a fan of him as she is that SZA chick.
Oh, is that who that was? Because I was like, it would be nice if they said like who was actually performing with him. Because I had no idea.
That's who it was, is SZA, I guess. And she goes, I like her voice, Mom. I like the way she sings. And she's like, and I've never really seen her like in person on a stage. And so that was kind of neat. I guess she said, she liked that, but she only sang for like a couple of minutes.
Oh,
it
yeah,
wasn't
it was
even that long.
Tiniest bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then who was the other guy that came out?
I have no idea who that was.
She didn't know either?
I have no idea. I don't think she knew who that was either. But, you know, it's the only song that I think she knew maybe like 3 songs. But the only song that I know is that They Not Like Us. They Not Like Us.
You reckon? I couldn't even tell where one song ended and the next one.
I only know that song because I drive teenage girls around and they'll, you know, and every once in a while that song will come on and I'll hear them in the back going, They Not Like Us. I hear them. And so I've heard some of that music, but that's it. I mean, I didn't find it enjoyable either. I mean, then again, I am of the age where I have seen some epic halftime performances. I mean, like we've lived through Prince, we've seen Bruno Mars, we've seen Creed, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I've seen some really great performances. And so that I was just like, this is really disappointing. You know, I miss those kind of performances. I really
was
do.
Absolutely.
Can we just get
awful?
Can we just get Creed to play? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can we just have actual music that actually has a melody? You know what I mean? And not just like super fastly spoken words.
Yeah.
I don't get the appeal. I just don't get it. But again, that's me shaking all the rakes.
I know. Yeah.
All right, let's get to some ads. There were some really good ones, some very odd ones, and obviously we're not going to play them all because there are way too many. But here are some highlights. I hope I've picked the ones that people wanted to be picked. If you have some favorites, we did play the one last week, I think, with Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan, the remake of When Harry Met Sally. So we're not going to play that again. But there was one ad that really stood out in particular, and that was a recruiting ad for the Secret Service, which was absolutely phenomenal.
Really was.
America was founded on an idea of freedom. America's always stepped forward in time of need throughout our short but powerful history.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Tear down this wall.
We've been there for all of it.
Second plane hit the tower.
Our heroes are humble. They have an inner pride to keep this idea alive. Protectors are born, they're not made. America's Secret Service protecting this Super Bowl is asking a few more to step forward.
That was good.
It's really good. So the person who did that was Michael Bay. That's who you saw. That's Michael Bay. He's the director. He did Transformers. He did Bad Boys for Life. You know, he did like, he's the big time director. And so I guess they said, you need to do this. I guess the Secret Service said, we're going to hire this guy to try to, you know, do this amazing epic ad to recruit people, which I got to tell you, it's effective.
Oh, it was really, really good.
That's how you do it.
Really good.
Yeah, I hope
that
they
was
get
awesome.
some great people. Yeah.
Okay, so now the question is, has Bud Light redeemed themselves after the whole Dylan Mulvaney horror show that was last year, I guess, or maybe the year before even?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have they redeemed themselves because now they've got that comedian, what's his name? Sean. What's his name?
I know you're talking about Sean something. You guys know Sean, whatever his name is.
Is it even Sean? Now I'm like questioning if it's Sean.
Shane
McGillis. Yeah.
Shane McGillis.
So they're using him. They're using, you know, they've got a lot of cameos by a bunch of different people. They got Post Malone in this.
Yeah.
So Shane Gillis. Yes. So does this ad, this Bud Light ad, renew your favorability, approval rating, if you will, for Bud Light?
You gonna go fishing tomorrow? I got a colonoscopy tomorrow.
Fellas, I accidentally threw a lame party.
Okay, Ted.
They're on their way. They're here.
Ooh. You call this a party?
Cul-de-sac party.
Launch. These beers are a metaphor for an invitation.
Is that our leaf blower? Party at the sec.
You are cordially invited to the end of the cul-de-sac.
This is incredible.
Your mower smokes meat?
Oh, a smoker cuts grass.
Hell yeah.
I spent most of my money on this.
New rig?
Fully custom.
How many Bud Lights can you fit in that puppy?
As many Bud Lights as it takes.
A lot of Bud Lights.
This cul-de-sac's popping.
Fanny pack.
Phil, get off the boat. The HOA's already breathing down my neck.
I mean, it's cute.
It's cute.
Well, would I gravitate towards Bud Light? No, I'd probably still stay away from it.
I love that Peyton Manning was wearing jorts
and a fanny pack.
And a fanny pack. It was so funny. Oh my God.
It suits him though. It totally
Yeah.
suits. Yeah.
I mean, they're trying. So I guess you guys do you, Bud Light.
Right.
Also, I don't understand the connection between Meta and Ray-Ban, but let's face it, I'm only including this because Chris Hemsworth was in it, and here it is.
What is this artwork?
Comedian by Mauricio Catalan, worth $6.2 million.
What? What? That's a $6.2 million banana. Are you kidding? We need to find you another banana. Bananas.
Gentlemen,
What a place you have.
who eats art?
I think you're supposed to say, hey, Meta. Like, hey, Meta, who eats art? And then Meta would say, Chris Pratt.
Hey, Meta, call my lawyer.
I don't get the ad either. But Hemsworth did look really delicious in that ad.
But what was with the glasses? Everybody,
don't know.
I get that it's
I don't know. Do
Ray-Ban,
you guys
but why did they
understand?
all wear those glasses, like those big liberal-looking, chunky black
Meta
giant-
glasses. They're Meta glasses. Are we supposed to understand that? I don't understand any of it. I don't.
Wait, so Meta sells a kind of glasses that
I'm
are
assuming.
Ray-Ban branded?
I guess. I don't know. Is that the thing? I don't know.
I
Do you
don't-
guys? I don't
get
know.
it.
I'm actually looking right now. I'm looking.
Those were AI glasses? So
Yeah,
like all of them could you okay.
They're smart glasses. They're smart glasses.
So you say to them, you're actually talking to the glasses when you say, hey, Meta or whatever?
They're
Is
Meta
that-
yes, you can actually buy Meta glasses, and they're Ray-Ban, I guess, and I guess they're with Ray-Ban. I don't know what
Okay.
exactly they do, but they're smart glasses. They're smart glasses. Mhm.
Okay. Wow. All right.
I
That's-
don't have smart. My glasses are dumb, so I don't. They're dumb, you guys.
And mine are mostly just on top of my head to keep my hair back. So I don't need
Hers are
smart ones.
ineffective, completely ineffective.
All right. And then there was an ad with Ben Affleck and Casey Affleck and some dude in a giant vat of beans, I think. Again, I have no idea what's going on here. Do not understand this. If you want to help us out, please.
Jeremy is a method actor.
What is that?
Coming out to his ready. The acting method from the book.
There's a book?
He's preparing. He's doing his research.
I never did no research on nothing. Look where I'm at.
Exactly.
We're big time now.
You ruined it.
Do I ruin it, or do you have a breakfast named after you?
Oh.
Hey. What are you doing in there?
We're doing a Dunkin' Donuts commercial, right?
Right.
I'm just trying to find the character. I think I found a way in. You're from Boston. I'm from Boston. Dunkin' is Boston. Boston is Paul Revere. One if by land, two if by sea. The redcoats are coming.
You're an artist, and I know what that's like, but how long is it going to take for the bean method?
I mean, I'll be ready in like 3 hours.
You should have paid for Matt.
I told you that.
I think that Ben Affleck, like, it's hard for him to do the Boston accent now.
Really?
Yeah. Because I mean, I lived there for a summer, and I listened, I observed. I think Casey is better at it than he is, but he is so Hollywood now. It's so hard for him to do that accent. It's just weird. He sounds weird doing it.
I don't get that ad at all. Like, I
was
don't
weird.
understand how that
It wasn't
relates to
good.
donuts, or
No,
I don't get
wasn't
it.
Nope.
But by far the weirdest one was the one that had Seal in it. It's a Mountain Dew ad, and this was so
weird.
freaking bizarre.
So weird.
You guys, what is even happening?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
That's bizarre.
Refreshing.
It's kissed by the perfect amount of tropical lime.
Oh my God. So creepy.
My flippers can hold Mountain Dew. It slips right on through watershed.
That was so weird.
So weird.
So weird.
There is so much as he can tell you, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my fame.
Well, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really, really weird.
Was bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, okay, like that at least was a fun one. It was of interest, right?
Whatever happened to all the? Did you see all the hullabaloo about hey, Elon's paying $40 million for Doge ads?
Yeah, I think it was a ruse to get people to watch and tune in for that, and then keep staying and watching because, of course, there was never any Doge ads. So.
Never any Doge ads, right?
No Doge ads.
Mm-hmm.
But there was this Uber Eats ad. I think it's I think that's what it's for, with Matt McConaughey and like various stages of life. That was also odd.
Good looking seal.
None of this makes sense.
It has been a banner year for the National Football League. Or should I call it the National Foodball League?
From the very beginning, football has been a conspiracy to make us hungry. And we'll call this a pigskin. Make people crave bacon. Bacon.
And everybody loves bacon.
I love bacon. They do anything to sell food.
Coach, how come we only play on Sundays?
Because nobody's eating ice cream Saturdays, kid. Jeez. So the Packers were named after meat packers.
So what should we call the fans, Coach?
Cheeseheads. Of course. Why do you think Buffalo got a team?
These wings deserve a team.
Yeah. Hey, pick out a good team name for Buffalo, Bill. Buffalo. Buffalo. And their biggest game? Come on. Our championship will be a Super Cup. Can't eat out of a cup, Ted, but a bowl? How about a Super Bowl? And we'll start naming players after appliances.
Hey, Coach, do I have to be called refrigerator?
Yes. And Peyton? He was a beef salesman. Omaha! Steak. Omaha! Steak. And they're still playing us. This year, we're not even hiding it anymore. We have Super Bowl licks. For the halftime show presented by an apple. In a stadium named after...
A salad!
Matthew.
Yeah. Hey.
Sorry, sir. You want me to make a movie about a football conspiracy?
Yes.
No.
Come on, Greta.
No.
Bacon's in.
Everybody loves bacon.
No one believes that football is just some conspiracy to sell
food. When football makes you hungry.
I mean, that's cute. Anytime I can see Matthew McConaughey, I'm good. All right. Uh-huh.
All right, so we've just got a couple more, but this next one, I know Harrison Ford is a huge lib, but this Jeep ad was so good, you guys. It was so good. I mean, even though, just pretend that he's not liberal when you watch it.
Longest thing we ever do is live our lives. But life doesn't come with an owner's manual. Might have been nice, huh? But that means we get to write our own stories. Freedom is yes, or no, or maybe. Freedom is for everybody, but it isn't free. It's earned. There are real heroes in the world, but not the ones in the movies. Real heroes are humble. They're not driven by pride. Pride is a terrible driver. Freedom is the roar of one man's engine and the silence of another's. Freedom is the ability to inspire. The most sacred thing in life isn't the path. It's the freedom to choose it. You don't have to be friends with someone to wave at them. We won't always agree on which way to go. But our differences can be our strength. So choose, but choose wisely. Choose what makes you happy. My friends, my family, my work make me happy. This Jeep makes me happy, even though my name is... That's my owner's manual. Get out there. Write your own.
It was cute. He probably drives a BMW though. You know,
that's like totally not his Jeep.
It's not his Jeep. Yeah.
I love that though.
Sure, yeah. My favorite was the Dodge Ram commercial with Glenn Powell in it.
Okay. I was just going to ask you your favorite. I don't have that one. I'm
surprised.
God,
it was epic. It was
that
epic.
Is your favorite.
That was my favorite because I don't know if you guys saw it. It's the one where he's like telling his, I guess, niece and nephew a story, and it's like Van Halen's playing in the background. It was great. That was my favorite because it was fun.
It was a good one. It was a good one. But my favorite was definitely this next one.
Mom, Dad, we have something to tell you.
You have a twin brother we never told you about.
I'm sorry. So, what's his name?
Other David.
You called him Other David?
If there's two Davids, one
Other
has to
David.
be Other David.
Where is he?
Left him in America.
Are you...
Beckham. Dave Beckham.
No way.
Hey, what'd you say your name was?
David.
Try one of these. That is the best buffalo wing in the county.
You eat buffalo?
No, it's just chicken. It was invented in Buffalo, the city.
So it's not buffalo.
You all right, man? Still got it? Come on, guys. Sorry, it's a thing I do.
You drink Stella?
I have taste, David.
Something I have to tell you.
My brother is a famous soccer player?
Yeah.
So how famous are you? Like Matt Damon famous?
Maybe Ben Affleck famous.
That's a shame.
That's cute.
I love that one. Absolutely loved it.
Cute.
And then I didn't realize this until this morning, but Kanye West also paid like $30 million to have an ad during the Super Bowl. And he made it with his iPhone. And this is it.
I spent like all the money for the commercial on these new teeth. So once again, I had to shoot it on the iPhone. Go to easy.com.
Wow.
That was it.
Okay.
And now his account, he's deactivated his Twitter account after 2 days of just manic, psychotic, anti-Semitic porn, just crazy on Twitter. Like he went absolutely mental. Elon ended up like calling his account not safe for work. He put some sort of a restriction or restricted content flag on it because he was posting literal porn. And then Kanye just deactivated it. He's so crazy.
He's off the deep end, you guys. Off the deep. Can you imagine? I'm just going to drop 30 million on that.
Yeah. Anyway, he's crazy. So someone needs to take care of that.
Yep.
All right. Now it is time for some Pillow Toks. And we begin with Captain Deplorable himself talking about big balls in the way only he can.
This is your favorite president, and I'm very sorry to see Big Balls leaving Doge. Big Balls did tremendous work. Americans voted for Big Balls. They voted for me, and they call me Biggest Balls. You know what I'm talking about. Fake news CNN is very unhappy with the name Big Balls. They wouldn't know Big Balls if it hit him in the face, except Anderson Cooper. You know what I'm talking about. But I want to recognize some of the other fantastic people over at Doge. Pat McCrutch. Pat is doing a wonderful job. I've known him for a long time. Phil McCracken. Phil is lighting it up, doing wonderful work. Holden McGroin is really carrying his weight. That much I can tell you. And Michael Hunt. We've known Mike for a long time. He goes by Mike, and we've known him for a long time. But Americans voted overwhelmingly for Big Balls. You know that when they elected me. And while Big Balls may not be working at Doge anymore, Biggest Balls is still working as your president. We are making America ballsy again, and we are making America great again. That will continue. That's not going to stop. We will never give up. We will never surrender. We will never back down, and we will make America great again. Believe me.
He's so good
balls.
at that.
It's so true. He has biggest balls. Just start calling him
Oh my
biggest
gosh.
balls.
So good. All right. Who wants to see a mama panda, not panda, mama koala hugging her baby koala?
Present.
Right? How can you not want to?
Right here.
How can you not want to see this? Look at the snuggle. Oh my gosh, it's so precious.
Look at the baby.
So precious.
That was sweet. That was so sweet. What in the world are we looking at right now?
Well,
Wait, is
you
that a
had
dog?
to- No, this
is
is
that?
a cat in full snow ski garb. And
Oh my
it is
gosh.
so funny to me. Look at this poor cat. What have they done to him? I mean,
He does not look happy.
no, he does not. Look.
Oh my gosh.
Ah!
He's like, I am the Batman. Not happy.
He's not
Yeah.
happy.
There's some childless woman that put that cat in that outfit. And she's like, this is my baby.
And it's cold outside. He needs a ski suit.
He needs parka.
Also, here's a little montage of dogs getting caught doing things that they are not supposed to do, mostly with food.
Unbelievable.
Oh, he's getting it.
No.
Yeah, Theo would do that.
What are you doing?
So scrunchy.
Coco.
Excuse me, sir.
Not me.
Oh my God. I love it. Look at that. That is awesome. Oh my gosh. That is the greatest. Theo would do all of that, and then he would like take the food, go to the back door, open the back door, and then leave. Because
Would he
he's
bury
that
it or would he eat it?
He'd go in the backyard and eat it in peace. Like with
He
nobody
doesn't want
watching
you
him.
grown-ups watching
He
him.
doesn't want us watching him be a criminal. He's gonna be a criminal on his own. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. And then lastly, we've got more cats sideways dancing for you because I know how you love it. So here's a little montage of cats doing the crazy.
The crab walk. I love it. So great. Oh my God, I love it. God, those leopard cats are so cool looking. It has to be set to music. It has to.
I cannot hold it in anymore. I just wanna.
That is a tall, skinny cat.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
I need one, you guys.
Oh my God. They are
gonna need
crazy.
They are crazy.
Crazy.
Mhm.
All right. We have some Venmos to shout out from last couple days. Jamie Levine said, Mock, I can still help your leg. Call me. Shout out to Steve for the laughs and Crystal for saying it before I can. Love you all. Let's see. We also had Rebecca Horst who said, Mock, did you see the 200 doodles that are available from a Savannah raid?
Ooh.
Also, love healthy cells, skin, hair, and nails. Skin already better in a week. That's a great
So awesome. I love
testimonial.
it. Yeah.
I did not see the doodles. I'm not a doodle. I don't want a doodle.
She's not a
I
doodle
love
dandy.
them.
Not a doodle dandy.
But I love them, but I don't want one for myself. So
yeah,
I
she's
have
a lab.
she's
just a lab girl. I don't think you're ever going to switch unless you get a pointer, but I feel like you're probably just going to get another lab.
I probably will.
Yeah, she's a creature of habit, you guys.
Yep. From the Ball Pit crew, Eliza9110 said, good morning. Really enjoying the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then over on Venmo this morning, Douglas Schmoyer said, feeling so blessed to be visiting my mom in Texas and listening to our chicks together. Oh
Welcome
my God,
to
that's
Texas.
super fun.
Yeah.
Love that. And then on locals, SZ Plot said, my Roomba is Clifford and it's definitely a male.
Oh my gosh.
Clifford. Love it.
You people and your naming things. Okay. Heather Malloy, Mock, you are thinking of a mnemonic device.
Okay, then what is onomatopoeia? Is that just when things sound like what the word is? Like cow?
I think that may be animal sounds. Onomatopoeia may be animal sounds. Am I wrong about that?
I think
We need to look it up.
where it's like a bam or a pow. I could be wrong.
I can't remember.
I feel like that's what it is.
I've slept since then. I don't know. Okay, Bo Mama 8. I thought all Roombas came already named. My brother's was named Bobalong, which is our grandfather's name. My son's is named Wanda.
No way. Wait, where are they named? Like, is there like a secret? Oh, they're not.
I think she's joking. Yeah, I think it was a joke. It's not like they come with like a label on that says this one is named Wanda. That would be great.
That would actually be kind of fun.
They should. Yeah, the company should actually consider doing that.
Yeah.
BTK, without knowing your history, what about stem cells?
Thank you for asking. I am not a candidate because I have no cartilage to build from. So you need at least, you have to be like a grade 3 cartilage, and I'm not. I have 0, and so there's nothing to put stem cells into to help cartilage grow.
Yeah, people have asked about that with her, so I'm glad that you answered that question. Heather Carr, my Roomba is R2 Clean 2.
That's a good one.
Great, I love it. Judy Flackney, please pray for me. 9 days sick. 6 days, no voice, harsh cough, bonus, not going outside because it's minus 15 degrees out there. Judy, I feel for you because it's been like I'm on week 3 and I'm still coughing, but whatever's going around, there's been lots of type A flu and like strep and all sorts of crap. Like all of our kids have had it except for the youngest, but everybody's got it. Like all the swim moms have had, everybody has had it. It's all going around the country. So we will pray for you. Lots of funk happening around the country. Ken Conrad, Prickster just wants to have a winning football team. It's true.
Okay, good luck with that, JB.
He can buy it. Can he buy one?
That's true.
He buys it. He just buys like more winning. He can do that. Stevie J, Maxine Waters wants to see that man's ID, but is against ID to vote. Make it make sense. You're right, Stevie. Andrea Viola, Carolyn Levitt dropped a bomb. Nobody talked about it. The cost of eggs is high because Biden had millions of chickens cold, shorting the food supply. Yep.
We talked about it.
We did.
You should watch our show every day because we
totally talked about it. Yep, we did. Andrea Viola, the bishop that scolded Trump got $53 million from USAID.
Oh my God.
Kristen H, great idea. I'm going to name my Roomba Elon and joyfully congratulate him as he routinely eliminates waste from my domicile. I love that, Kristen. Jose Rodriguez, good morning from Texas. That Faith lady sounded like a scratched record. She needed a penny taped to her head to get her past the scratches. I've now dated myself. Just take my money. Paula Johnson, Paula White reminds me of Gwen Walls. Yikes. Yeah, she has she's giving a little Gwen Walls too. Brian Brumley, no halftime shows for me until they have Weird Al. America demands Weird Al. Yes.
That would be a trip.
That would be great. Rachel Gerhardt, the Michael Jackson performance was great and unifying. It was. Yeah, there's so many good ones. Prince was still the best.
By far.
Rain. Still
there was nothing like it. Do you know that our friend Guy was there?
Oh my God. Really?
I know. Yeah, he was at that show.
Know that. Oh my gosh, that would have been amazing.
So jealous. If you guys listen to Guy Relford, the gun guy on WIBC ever out of Indianapolis, that's who was there.
So amazing. T in Texas, song about a revolution, right time, wrong guy. I don't know.
There was a song about a revolution?
I don't know.
I heard no songs.
I know.
I just heard a lot of talking.
A lot of bat, 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 bat. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of that. Lori Mazamuro, U2's halftime show was the best. A moving tribute to those we lost. U2's great. Yeah, I totally forgot about U2. Love
That's
U2.
right. Yep.
Paula Johnson, I agree with you about Taylor Swift, Daisy. Well, thank you, Paula. Not a fan. Listen, not a fan. Maybe it's because I've been like subjected to all of her crap, and I've had to go to like, I've had to see the movie, and I've been.
Oh yeah, you've been tailored out.
I'm a little tailored out. Yeah, I'm just a little sick of her crap. So, anyways, that's that. You guys, we're bringing it in.
We're bringing it in.
We're bringing it in. You guys, have the greatest Monday ever. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.